Mr. O'Rourke, you may proceed with your testimony. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Madam Ranking Member, for having this hearing and then allowing me the chance to discuss the bill that we're proposing, the Ask Veterans Act. And it is essentially based on experiences that we have had in the district I represent, El Paso, Texas, that I think are applicable to all of our districts. When I was sworn in 2013, I began to hold regular town hall meetings, and I was struck by the number of veterans who would attend them to tell me that they could not get in to get a primary or specialty or mental health care appointment. That was at direct odds to what I was hearing when I would follow up with the VA. The VA in El Paso told me that the vast majority of veterans seeking care were seen within 14 days, which at the time was the established basic minimum wait time for a veteran. And yet the complaints persisted. And the VA was almost saying, what you're really dealing with here, Beto, are some cranky, ornery veterans. Some of these folks, you just can't make them happy. But, you got to take our word for it, and here's the data. We're seeing everybody within the established period of time. Well, something just didn't add up. And so we commissioned an objective, scientific third-party survey with a margin of error under 4% to ask veterans directly what their experience has been at the VA. And what we were told confirmed, what we saw in the results confirms what we were told by the veterans, which is they were waiting far longer than the VA had told us they were waiting. To give you an idea, on average, this is an average, veterans in El Paso waited over 80 days for a primary care appointment, over 70 days for a mental health care appointment. And what was truly shocking and confirmed stories that I had a hard time believing when I was told by veterans when we first took office was that more than 1/3 of the veterans surveyed who tried to obtain a mental health care appointment could not obtain one at all, not in 14 days, not 30 days, not a year, just not ever. And that data helped us to apply targeted pressure to the VA on where they needed to do a better job for veterans in our community. And to the VA's credit, they were very responsive to that. And they didn't resist the facts as told by the veterans. They have worked to try to make things better. We conducted this survey again this year, got similar results. There were some improvements, but people are waiting far too long, and there's still a crisis in access to mental health care. I think we learned after the Phoenix wait time scandal, and my experience in El Paso, and you may have similar experiences in your districts, that we cannot ask the VA how the VA is doing and always expect an honest answer. Shame on them the first time this happens, shame on us if it happens going forward. For us to truly hold them accountable, there needs to be an independent verification of the veterans' experience at each of the VA medical facilities in each of our districts. And so this bill would simply require that the VA contract with an independent third party to assess true wait times, not the preferred wait times, which I still don't understand how that works, but from the moment you, the veteran, request an appointment until that appointment is actually granted, you're actually seeing your provider, not when it was scheduled, but when you're seeing the provider. We want to measure that wait time. We want to measure wait times across primary, specialty, and mental health care. And we want to measure veterans' satisfaction with the care that they received both at the VA and care that they received in the community. This bill also requires that the VA work with veteran service organizations in each of our communities to make sure that we're asking the right questions, that we're getting at concerns that VSOs and veterans have with the quality and access and timeliness of health care in a given community. And then the VA must publish these reports publicly on the web for everyone to see and to be held accountable. And so that, in essence, is a very short, simple bill. That, in essence, is what the Ask Veterans Act would do. And with that, I yield back.